EliteCAD is a tool that can also be effectively applied to the creation of construction drawings. The compatibility of this software allows us to use the data directly from the model and extend the information to create precise working drawings. We click on this wall construction. We want to change the monolithic wall into a multi-layered one. We begin by defining each layer. We say here, a 15 cm brick wall layer, which is insulated with a 12 cm thick insulation. Then we add an air gap of 4 cm. And finally the outer layer, which we define as another layer of brick. In order for us to be able to include all the relevant materials, we can go here and select the materials we need out of the material database and apply them to our wall. We choose this red brick material for our brick wall, and now you can see that our wall materials are visible not only in plan but also in the three-dimensional view. Now we would like to add detail to the bearing surfaces of the windows. Here we can adjust the depth of the reveal. Now we can go here and select the type of stone for the reveal. We would like to make this slightly thinner. We want to make the windowsill more precise. Type in all the required dimensions. Here we also have the possibility to import another drawing. At this point, we would like to add precision to our drawing and draw the exact dimensions of the window. We can also add detail in the perspective view. Here we can see that the windowsill material still needs to be defined. Here, we can again find the materials in the material library. This dark wood, for example, and simply drag it onto the windowsill. Here we can even control the texture properties. In this case, determine in which direction the grain of wood should run. Now we can refine the doors by adding details. Here, for example, we zoom in, select the door and add the door frame. We assign a color to the door frame, for example, so as to make it stand out in the drawing. Now we can also select the appropriate door panels and their materials. You can see the door and door frame with their appropriate colors in the perspective view. Now we would like to transfer the new door properties to the other doors in the model without adjusting any scales or sizes. We can take the door details in the list, deselect the door dimensions, and apply the details to the other doors of the building. We have now very quickly given all the doors in the building very precise measurements and characteristics, which are all identical. The exterior details of one of the floor levels have been defined. We would of course like to apply these new details to all the floors. Through simple clicks, we can quickly allow the other floor levels to inherit the new facade details. With one click, and the construction is matched identically to the rest of the building. We want the parapet walls to be 1 meter tall. We can add the desired measurements here, and we have quickly reduced the height to 1 meter. While a parapet is selected, we can apply its properties to the other parapets around the house. Now we will name the different rooms. We don't just give the room a name. Here we can apply certain materials to individual rooms. For instance, a parquet floor. We also want to select a color for the floor, which will be shown in the floor plans. We can assign specific details such as floor materials, wall and ceiling colors to each room. Here we can see the room properties of room 2, for example. This includes the room dimensions, floor materials, wall and ceiling renders. By double-clicking on the information text, it is possible to add more room information for example the window including its dimensions. We can apply this change to the information text of all the rooms by simply going into the room parameter menu, choose which rooms and which information should apply, and then click copy. Now we will create a layout plan. Give it the name Plan Design and choose an A00 format. Using simple drag and drop, we can drag the plans and elevations from the drawing list into the page. Moving on, we can take the window bearing surface details. In the list, deselect the window dimensions and apply the details to the other windows of the building. We have now very quickly given all the windows in the building very precise measurements and characteristics, which are all identical. We would now like to add a set of railings to the outside balcony. We use a couple of guides to give us the offset dimensions from the edge. Draw a contour to define where the barrier should be. Out of the barrier menu, we can define the barrier's characteristics. Here we have various parametric possibilities available to us. We have a range of different profiles. We specify the intervals, and straight away we have the finished railings within the model. Although it is simple to create new objects, we can also quickly make adjustments to existing ones. We can click on any object, for example this window, to change its properties. Here we can define the number of horizontal and vertical symmetrical rods between the window panes. We will give this window 2 horizontal dividers. Now we would like to define a section through part of the building. We will call this section CC and give it a scale of 1 to 20. Then we can draw in the section line into the plan. The detailed section is immediately displayed, as you can see.